give me a second here. Okay, let's see if you guys can hear me. Let's put this over here. Hello. Hello. Rawr. Jesus. All right. Here we are. All right. So, what's going on, everybody? While people are coming in, just want to say hi first and foremost. Second of all, I'm sure you guys can hear me and see me very well, but it's always nice to have a little check here. So good evening to everybody. Today, May 4th, 2019, a little late on this roundup. As you guys know, I do this monthly, started in March 2019, and it seems like a lot of you guys love this kind of stuff. So if you're new to this, first and foremost, hit that like button. I'm always looking for, of course, these new ideas to hit a certain amount of likes. So I'm looking for around 200 likes for this monthly roundup. Last month I asked for 150, and you guys surpassed that like crazy. So this is a live chat from the title. I will keep it on my channel. So if you're not on right now and you're in the live chat, well, it means the live chat's done. To the people that are in the live right now, we got Dan, we got Jonathan, we got Scuba, Edward. So just saying hi to everybody. We got about 20 people in the chat right now. Thank you to everybody that already just liked it. We're up to 8 likes. So 192 left to go. No coffee tonight. It is water in my little Batman cup. So if you're new to this, it's pretty straightforward, guys. So I do this little live chat at the start of the month. See what I did on the channel last month. Usually on this type of video, I tell you what's on the docket for the month and see if I reach my goals. So it's kind of keeping myself accountable to continue to push some content on the channel as much as I can. And of course, give you guys a little sneak peek of what I'm working on. Does not mean what is being said in this video is obviously going to happen during the month, but most of it will. So we got a few fragrance reviewers already in the chat. We got No Sense Frags. We got an Instagrammer, Philip Bartos, 6 cents. I seen his Instagram post, his video today that kind of ruffled some feathers. So we may talk about that at the end of this video. That would be an interesting topic. And his video is about essence and basically some influencers, quote unquote, basically, I don't know, e-begging or whatnot. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it's an interesting topic to talk about our community and what's going on in regards to, the brands, especially the little known brands. Something like Essence is all about niche and indie brands. So those brands most of them are much smaller, trying to get their name out. And obviously with a high price tag like that, they would like to have as much marketing as they can. Because they can't really compete with the marketing of the Chanels and the Dior's. So it's a really interesting topic of, because we've had, I think Essence finally had a large footprint with people from Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and all that. So really interesting. Anyway, let's get into why I'm here and why you guys are here, I guess. For the first part of this is I talk about what's going on the channel in May. So videos that you're going to come to expect on this channel. So I won't be really talking to the people in the live chat. If you have any questions, keep them towards the end of this video. I am going to fulfill a small segment at the end of the video for us to chat a little bit, just as a thank you for being in this live chat. If you haven't hit like yet, I am looking for a goal of 200 likes, just because. If you hit like, you hit like. If you don't, you don't. It's fine. I just like to see that these type of video ideas that I just introduced on my channel are being, you guys like them. So hitting the like button says, okay, you guys want more. So anyway, let's get this started, then we can chat, especially for the people in the live chat. So what happened in April? What did I, not that I promised, but what did I say that I was going to shoot in April? I really got a lot of the stuff that I wanted to get out on the channel in April. Obviously, I got a few pop the cherry videos, first impression videos on Tom Ford. So Sahara Noir, Noir Anthracite, The City on Fire, and 1 Million Lucky. That was my goal. I got all 4 done. You guys have all seen that or may have not seen it. I did a few test drives. So those are samples with another Tom Ford, Un Mineral, Panda from Zoologist, and Canfield Cedar from the House of Kerosene. Reviews that I finally finished was Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, which I was long overdue on that one. I gave it a little pander. And Honey Oud from the House of Montal. And I did a surprise collaboration with Chad, A Gentleman's Journey, another fragrance reviewer late in the month. I kind of brought I just decanted a few of my fragrances and let Chad smell them for the first time. We don't have the same tastes, so it's kind of interesting to see what he thought of those fragrances. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. So now let's talk about scent of the day. First and foremost, everybody in the live, we got 28 people in the live. What is your scent of the day or scent of the night now? For me, it's 10 p.m. Right now, I am not really wearing anything. I am waiting to go to bed, and prior to bed, I'm going to wear something. So don't crucify me. I am going to be wearing something after this live chat before I go to bed, and it's probably one of my new fragrances that I just unboxed, which I'm going to talk to you guys about here. And obviously, yes, Chad, when I met up with Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, if you haven't checked out his channel on YouTube, it is A Gentleman's Journey. He's a fellow Canadian, and he wanted to interview me. So it's a worthwhile thing if you want to know a little bit more about me. He had some few interesting questions for me, so it was really a nice. He has a couple of videos with me, so go check out his channel. So your scent of the days, as I see a few here. I see a bunch of Creeds here. Pear and Olive, that's a good one. Purple Patchouli, I want that one. While we're at it, Jacqueline's Perfumery. So Jacqueline's in. What's going on, Jacqueline? While you're posting your scent of the days, let us know where you guys are from. Are you from a country right now that it's 4 a.m? So let's get into my May 2019 roundup. What are my full-fledged reviews that are on the docket on my channel for this month? Well, the month's already started, and I need to start working on these reviews. So the first review is one that I promised last month that I did not get to do, but it is completed. I just need to edit it, and that is Le Mal Terrible. That is what I'm holding up here. One of the flankers that really didn't move the Richter scale as far as sales go. So Le Mal Terrible, of course, a flanker from one of my favorite designer releases of all time. I can't wait to let you guys know about that fragrance. It's pretty straightforward fragrance review, but I didn't get a chance to finish it in April because I wanted to get it out in April, never did. Next is another designer fragrance is from the thumbnail of this video is Dunhill Icon Racing. So I've reviewed every single Icon. Racing is next. I've already given my first impression on this fragrance, which wasn't very favorable. So I'm going to let you guys know a little bit more what I think about this fragrance. Now that it has hit discounters, it's more of an affordable price. Is it still worth it for the affordable price? I say no. That is my first impression right there. But it's going to be an interesting fragrance review because the original icon utilizes neroli, a great floral, and this one utilizes more lavender in the mid, which is they're built almost the same. But it's interesting that this thing got released when they got a new creative director in 2017. And it may be a sign of things to come for the House of Dunhill, which is on the downward slope. Unfortunately, their previous creative director that introduced Icon is now with Louis Vuitton, which obviously probably threw a lot of money at him because he was doing great things with Dunhill. Unfortunately, they plucked him. So the House of Dunhill is going to hurt a little bit. And last but not least, another designer-ish fragrance review, but it's from their higher-end line, their Velvet series. This is Velvet Tender Oud. Not much fragrance reviews on this on YouTube, so I sort of really like to delve into these designer brands that have higher-end lineups like Dolce & Gabbana. Most of the time, depending on the brand, they may be pretty crappy. Coming to, Dolce & Gabbana's got one, Hugo Boss, all these brands are starting to get some. Prada has one. So I'm really, really excited to give my thoughts on this one. It's my first one from their higher end Velvet line. That line has been getting a lot of pander on the internet. So I can't wait to give my thoughts on it. So if you guys are just joining us, we have 40 people on here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. I am looking for the secret number of 200 likes on this video. So that's my motivation number to do it in June. But I certainly appreciate everybody that's tuning in on the live. So if you have missed it, my 3 fragrance reviews that I'm looking to do in May doesn't mean I'm not going to do more than 3, but that is my goal is to get Le Mal Terrible out, Dunhill Icon Racing, and Dolce & Gabbana Velvet, Tender Oud. So those are the reviews. Pop the cherry. So first impressions, I got 4 that I have to do. Every Storm is Serenade from Imaginary Authors. I actually got a couple of these. Obviously, I got these a couple months back. So I'm going to give my first thought on this one. I just did A City on Fire last month, so it's time for Every Storm of Serenade to be done. As part of that haul, I got a big-time first impression on 1888 from the House of Zerjoff. Obviously, this is going to be a very interesting first impression, a very expensive one. And another one, Cape Heartache from Imaginary Authors, again from that same haul. Get that one out. And last but not least, from the House of Molinard, Cuir. I absolutely love the fig. So let's see what the leather can give me here. And then, of course, those go into a vault and go into testing for the full-fledged fragrance reviews. So that is my first impression videos. Is going to be those 4. And last but not least, of course, the test drive series. Again, I'm trying to build my fragrance channel here in 2019, more built on fragrance reviews, Pop the Cherry series, and of course, Test Drive series. Test Drive series is straightforward. It replaced sampling samples. So it's just basically samples that I've gotten over the years. I have hundreds of samples. I just can't keep up with the samples. I can't even keep up with the bottles now. So this is an official sample from Chopard. And this is Vanille de Madagascar. So they're vanilla-based fragrance. And this is a fragrance that I got the sample with, I purchased a fragrance from someone in Montreal. And they gave me these off Facebook. And they gave me a bunch of Chopard official samples. And this is from their higher end line. And I'm very interested. Like, I really want to just kind of smell this. I've never heard of this. So I can't wait to actually do a samples on this. A vanilla-based fragrance from Chopard. This might be a problem for me. This might be a full bottle worthy fragrance, depending on the quality. This is again another sample from I purchased Effin' Fabulous from someone on Facebook too, and they gave me a whole bunch of Tom Ford private blends. That's where I got my Oud Mineral. So I'm going to do another Tom Ford here, and this is Vert d'Incense. So they're green series, and this is the incense one. So um, I'm hearing rumblings throughout the fragrance community that these green series may start getting axed, if not already, from Tom Ford. So this is good to get my nose on it before if I want to pull the trigger. The incense one and the woods one are both the ones that I really want to get. And last but not least, from my test drive series is a little Lucky Scent sample. You guys know these, the little dabbers. This is from Shea and Blue. I just got my first Shea and Blue fragrance called Watermelons. Love it. This one is called Framboise Noire, so black raspberry. So we'll see what I get from that. Shea and Blue is a brand that I want to get more from. They got some interesting offerings, so I can't wait to see what that one's going to be. So some interesting samples to be quite. All three of them, I'm kind of hyped about them. And obviously the Lucky Scent one's not very big, but the other two are going to get a couple wearings out of them. So very interesting. This month is going to be a really, I think, a fun month for me. Mostly designer as far as the fragrance reviews go. But it'll be interesting. I still need to do my seasonal spring list, my top 20s, designer and niche. I've been working on them slowly. I need to get those videos out this month. I still have snow in my yard, by the way. If you are Canadian, there's a little bit of snow. There's still snow in my backyard. Yes, I'm not lying. So I'm still good. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about my haul. I actually just shot my May Fragrance X haul. So they've already been unboxed, but I'll show you guys the boxes, not the bottles, because the bottles are put away. So my haul from Fragrance X this month, you guys are going to get a little sneak peek, and then the video itself is going to come out probably this week. So the first one I bought was Givenchy Gentleman EDP. Keep in mind, these are all blind buys. This is my first one from the Gentleman series, so I've heard good things, and I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but I've heard good things about that one. It's my first one from the Gentleman series. Next, I bought Terre d'Hermès, and this one, of course, the Eau Intense vetiver. So Christine Nagel did this one. I was kind of scared to smell this fragrance, but she actually did very good. So keep it tuned in for the unboxing, and I'll give you more information on that. Excuse me. Thirdly, I got a Guerlain because I'm on a Guerlain kick, and this is Guerlain's Ambre Éternel. I heard that this one, through the grapevine, is getting discontinued or is already discontinued, and this is my first from that series. I decided to get this one. Not that this one is my taste. I rather get the sandalwood-based one or the oud one, but I wanted to get that one because it's discontinued and it's going to be way harder to find. And last but not least is Amouage, because I always love getting Amouages. So I got Imitation Man in the mail with that haul. So pretty solid haul, to be quite honest. All four of them solid. There's no snoozers out of this. Actually, I like them all. But you'll have to keep it tuned in for the unboxing to really get the grasp of what I felt about that. So that's it in regards to the monthly roundup. I am going to put all this away, and now it's me to pay a little more attention to what you guys are saying in the live chat. So again, thank you so much. We're up to 48 people staying in this chat. We got 33 likes. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this live chat. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. So let's get into the live chat. Let's see what you guys have to say, and maybe we'll talk about a few topics here. So let's see what everybody's saying. So we got we need Terre d'Hermès for winter. Jacqueline is talking about her center of the day. Mugler's Fly Away for the first time where stuff is powerful. Yeah. Thank you, Victor and Rose We Trust, of course. Hamilton is in the house. Yeah, that Terre d'Hermès is very interesting. I was not expecting that kind of quality. To be quite honest, Christine Nagel is getting a lot of lukewarm reviews online from what she's doing in Elena. And trust me, I am the biggest Jean Claude Elena fanboy out there. I don't think you can find anybody that loves Elena as much as I did. It's on record in 2009. I've always liked Elena. I'm not bandwagoning. Always, he was my favorite perfumier ever since I got heavy into this stuff. And I was probably the one person I ignored Hermes and what they were releasing when Elena went away. And I'm finally starting to check out Nigel's stuff. I got the rhubarb one and I got the new Tel d'Hermes. And to be quite honest, she is doing her thing. Now she comes from Joe Malone. She did a lot of Joe Malone fragrances, and fresh fragrances is really her strength. And well, fresh notes are her strength, as from what I've been seeing. She's doing really well with fresh notes. And Elena, that was his strength also. He really did like to utilize spices to give fragrances, of course, the that kick. But he did like some great, like his oranges, his Bigarade notes were simply outstanding. You know, Bigarade Concentré from Frédéric Malle, just to name one. Déclaration from Cartier. His work for a different company. It really shows what Elena's strength was, and Nigel is. To be quite honest, they pick somebody that is very close to him in regards to what um, their idea for their fragrance brand is. I don't think she's as strong as a perfumier as Elena, but I'm giving her a chance, and she's doing a great job from what I hear. So pretty good. So let's talk about a little bit. I know that I brought it up earlier in this live chat, and again, I'm not one to start drama or anything like that, but let's talk about Essence and um, let's talk about influencers, give or take, and them, going for bottles. Now, I wasn't there, so I can't really tell you what's going on. But there's obviously talks of that. Essence, I think we, as a fragrance community, I think we had our biggest footprint there from what I've seen. From past years. Past years, there wasn't too much in regards to at least the YouTube fragrance community. I wasn't really huge into Instagram, so I don't know their footprint. Mr. Oz is in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Um, Love his channel, by the way. So if you see Mr. Oz in the chat, say hello. He's got a great channel. If you haven't checked out Mr. Oz's channel, what are you doing with yourself? So anyway, going back to Essence, again, a lot of our YouTube fragrance heads are getting flack of what they're posting from what they've done over there, and obviously, Tommy's mom says hi. So anyway, my thoughts, and I'm going to take the glasses off. My thoughts on what people think of what's going on in there, and are they representing influencers? Are they, representing the YouTube fragrance community or our community? Well, you know what? It's to each their own, first and foremost. Second of all, you can't, everybody's in this for a different reason. Somebody goes to a trip to Milan, that's where it was, Essence, depending from which country you're from, right? If you're from Canada like myself or United States, it's a pretty pricey trip. So I can see the mentality that, hey, I just spent like $5,000 on this trip, give or take. And I am going to recoup my money by getting free bottles. Is that wrong or right? Well, again, what are you in it for? Are you going over there just to do that? Well, that's kind of, I wouldn't do that personally, but that's their prerogative in regards to, I don't think anybody was doing that. Again, I'm not there. But that's pretty interesting. And Philip's already, why should small niche houses have to pay for their vacation? They don't have to. Again, it's a two-edged sword. Um, you know, if I was a brand like that, would I give out bottles to everybody? Like if somebody says, "Give me a bottle," or "I'm not going to advertise for you," I personally, for me, I would say, Okay, well, I don't need you, right?" Personally, if I went to uh, a place like that, and there might be some brands that are getting more press than others because they're giving out bottles, but I would be bringing out sample packs. I would prepare myself and send, and I think that's what Victor Wong did. He brought like a bunch of samples. I might be wrong, but that's what I'd be giving out to the influencers, to be quite honest. And they may or may not do a video, but um, that's what I think. Um, do I think it's wrong? Again, I wasn't there. Now, if I was there, let's go with what I would do. So if I went there, and I have no plans to go there next year or anything like that. If I went there, my number one goal was to. I saw the noses that were there, and that's where I would be like a kid in a candy store. I would spend most of my time talking to those noses, the brand owners, discover new brands, and do that. I probably, to be quite honest with all of you, I probably wouldn't bring a camera. I really wouldn't. I'm not for the YouTube channel or anything like that. I would do it just for myself. And that might be a little selfish of me, but I wouldn't be posting a bunch of stuff about his house. And that's my prerogative. I would do it just for me, just to get, and again, I would get my name out. I would market myself. There's a reason why I'd go there, but I would be like a kid in a candy store. So it is what it is. And Jacqueline's got a good point, right? Companies seek influencers for reviews and give this merchandise, but you have to be open to sponsors and whatnot. Would I be going over there and asking every single one of them, can I have a bottle? Can I have a bottle? I don't know if that's what is what goes on over there. Would I be doing that? No. I've never, and I swear on my son's life, I've never went to a brand or emailed a brand and said, "Hey, I'm Robes08. Here's my channel. I can do this for you. Please send me something." I've never done that. The live chat's going a little off now. That's it's hilarious. But what do you guys what do you guys think of the live chat in regards to that? And even some of our YouTubers, well-known YouTubers, went over there, and they're getting flack for being with Jeremy Fragrance and all that. And there's a lot of controversy in regards to that kind of stuff. Very Beef Curtains is here. By the way, I like lobster curtains better than beef curtains. Just letting you know. Um, uh, what's my take on Dunhill Icon Racing? Good for you. You're going not to know today, but I am. It's right here. I just announced that I'm going to be reviewing this bad boy this month. It's actually second in line after Le Mans Terib. So keep it tuned in. The review is coming soon. Yeah. And yeah, Jacqueline has a great point. I wouldn't be asking. Um, I wouldn't feel right to go to somebody and just say, even then, like if they offer you a bottle and they have stipulations attached to it. And I've had tons of that, like through email, that they would come up to me, and I felt like I had like a bad taste in my mouth. That they actually came to me and said, "Hey, we'll give you this, but and we'll give you this, this, and this, but you got to say this." And it's just like, for me, going that way to me didn't sit well with me. And as you can see, I am, of course, in partnership with Fragrance X. But Fragrance X doesn't care what I say about the fragrances I get from the website because they're not affiliated with any of these brands. So I could get a bunch of shitty fragrances instead of getting like sweet amouages and pan them all day, every day. But that's what's so great about my partnership is that it's I don't have to say anything. Obviously, I have to say a little 10-second clip that says my coupon code, but hey, that's that's life. I can do. But anyway, like if anybody's looking differently, and I'm going back to our YouTubers, anybody that's looking differently to the guys that are, they said this and that about Jeremy, and now they're super nice to him. It is what it is, man. I'm not the guy, and nobody should be. You can judge people all you want, but it is what it is. Like, why get upset about that stuff? If you think this person really didn't like him, and then now they're super nice to him just because they're in front of his face, it is what it is. You can have your own thoughts in regards to that. But we got to remember, and you guys are subscribers, so I hope you are subscribers of my channel. Um, every channel and every person on YouTube, especially now, all have everybody's got a different reason why they're on here. And obviously, some of the other monetary reasons are now fully fledged into this fragrance community on YouTube. Not like what it was. And I know that a lot of people are like saying, oh, the OGs are always hating the new generation. But guess what? Like some new generation guys are doing it the right way. They're doing it for the right reasons, and some are doing it for other reasons. And again, I'm not mad at the people that are doing it a different way. If you're in this for views, do it. Am I going to be watching your fragrance reviews? Probably not that much. I'll be honest with you, because the content's probably not there. The love's not there. I could tell when people are doing things just to get them out, right? When you're doing just brand new fragrance reviews all the time, there's no passion to it. You can tell the fragrance review is not genuine. And when the bottle is, full right to the top, and you're doing a fragrance review, again, but that's my style. That's what I like to see. Is I like to see people show their passion about fragrances, and that's the kind of reviews that I enjoy. It's not about who can get 40 fragrance reviews done in 1 month. Look, my goal is to do 3 a month, once every week. Now, it's not that I've had these bottles. I've had this bottle since launch, and I still haven't reviewed it. Now, am I going to get lots of views on this? Probably not. People don't really care about this. They would care about the new Le Male that came out. If I reviewed the Le Male Supreme edition that just came out, that limited edition, I'd probably get 10,000 views. But I don't care. I don't care about that. Same with this. I'm too late now. I'm not going to get views. I might get views, but I'm too late now. But I like to take my time. And that's my prerogative. Other people can do their own thing. If they want to review it on release, that's their thing. And everybody's got their own thing. Like, look, Known Sense Frag says I have to wear something for at least 7 days before I speak on a fragrance. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. And the one thing that people think that I complain about is because I do it a certain way that everybody should be doing it my way. And I never say that, but that's what I like to do. I don't get views no matter what. But you know what? You gotta. One thing I have learned is that throughout the years, you do have to change your style. If I continue to do what I did in 2009, I'd be probably in trouble as a YouTube channel. I'd be I'd be in big trouble. So you got to change it to your own needs, right? You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And that's one thing that a lot of the popular fragrance reviewers, a lot of people are piggybacking on what's popular, right? And like Steven does his own thing, and Carlos does his own thing, and then Big Beard Business does his own thing. But after a while, you see the top 3 or 5 dogs, and they're doing their own thing. And then you got all the copycats in the background trying to do that to reach where they are. um, you know, Having goals is awesome, saying that, oh, I'm going to go for 50,000 subscribers this year or whatnot. But, you know, that's not, that's not what I would be in it for. I don't think fragrance reviewing is uh, lucrative enough to, really focus on it. And that's my thought process. Now, I may be wrong. I might not be seeing this as a business, but it is what it is. Um, let's see what the live's saying. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on imitation. Yeah. Um, yeah, and to all the people, everybody works hard on this platform. And I don't want to poo-poo on people that I appreciate everybody that does shoot videos on YouTube. This is a time-consuming thing. Um, I edit more than I used to, and editing kicks my butt. It is hard to do and it's time consuming. It is so time consuming. Shooting videos is a breeze. Editing is not. It really is not fun. It is hard to do. Yeah. Yeah, well, and as far as what I do in regards to how many fragrance reviews to do in a month, or how much I spend in a month. I've always been very much regulated in regards to that. So as a fragrance reviewer, and we have a bunch in here right now, that is one thing that I would recommend as a YouTuber is not to burn yourself out. In many ways, the burnout's very real. I've seen, and I'm not going to name names, but I've seen fragrance reviewers go down the rabbit hole in a lot of different ways. Um, Monetarily, just trying to keep up, trying to be the big dog on YouTube. Your fragrance hauls don't have to be 30 bottles deep. And I got my internal budget, and you've seen what I've purchased, and that's usually my budget is always on point. So it's always been pretty much the same. Yeah, and Pulse Points has a point here. Like I've done it, man. I've done videos that I'm like, man, I nailed this fragrance review, right? I spent a whole hour on it, and I go put the card in to go edit, and my mic wasn't plugged in, so there was no audio, and I was just like, really? I've shot videos. I've shot videos that were out of focus, and I even uploaded them because I was so pissed off. That was back in the day. I don't do that anymore. But I've had some that were out of focus because my camera doesn't have. I use a DSLR Canon Rebel, which doesn't have autofocus on it. So what happens with that thing is that I have to make sure that it is focused on me in a certain area, or I'm all blurry. So it's kind of shitty. um, yeah, that's one thing with this hobby is that it gets expensive, and you don't want to keep up with the Joneses. And the thing that is very scary is what's going on in the past few years, and this is the whole. I don't want to blame him, but it's Jeremy Fragrance thing, and he gets, he's in Europe, he's in perfect place to get all these new releases right away, And that is that syndrome that, that everybody's kind of piggybacking on, that is purchasing those brand new releases at the peak of their pricing. So some people can afford it, but others can't. And reviewing every single designer fragrance that comes out right away, yeah, I can help your channel grow. And I'll be honest, that's the way to make it grow, to be quite honest, to get the more eyes on it. Um, but, you know, you can get yourself in debt spending $100 a pop, which is probably what they're going for, especially some of these fragrances. Buying a brand new Calvin Klein or a Dunhill or John Varvatos, their retail $100, and then 2 months later you see it at a discounter for 50. Learn your lesson, right? Was it really worth those 10,000 views? I don't know. That's your call, I guess. Um, and that's one thing that I've never done. I've never really had that urge. What's coming out, like what's new, like you can name off some new designer releases and I haven't smelt them, right? Versace Eros Flame, I really have, like, that's one of the new releases. I have no interest in smelling it, first and foremost. Mugler Alien, I want that fragrance, but I'm being patient. I don't need to buy that right now. Even if it'd be good for the channel back 6 months ago when it was released. No, I'm just waiting. It's gonna hit discounters. It already has, so I'm just waiting patiently, and I'll get it eventually. And it's just like all of these that I just got. Right, this one got released in 2018. I didn't get it right at launch. Waited till the discounter gets it, got it. Same here. Year later, got it. So there's no real rush. And even like a brand like Amouage, I wait till discounters get them. I'm not going to pay full retail and be the first one to review it. Yeah, the review may be 2 years late because it takes me about a year to get it, and then it takes me another 6 to 8 months to review it. But that's that's how my channel works, and you guys know this. And it's not the right way or the wrong way of doing it. It's just the way I do it, and it's my journey. Um, but you definitely need to catch yourself, especially if you don't have that income. Um, you have that Alien Man fusion on the way. Yeah, there we got a flanker on the Alien Man. I really want that Alien Man so bad. Hermes is on discounters. It's well, I got it on Fragrance X, obviously. I paid 100 for it. No, 110. It was on Fragrance X for 4 to 6. I want to say 4 months, give or take. And it was at 140 Canadian. That's pretty expensive for 100 mil. So it came down like last month when I got it, like $20, 20, $30. It went down to 120 or something. So I got it then. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, I did buy a lot of designer fragrances just for the channel. Way back when. I learned my lesson pretty quick. Like I used to buy like really shitty fragrances. Like I got probably the biggest shitty fragrance collection ever. I probably have, I would say out of my 1,000 plus bottle collection, I probably have like 300 shitty fragrances. And, like the stupid stuff, right? And it's just for you know, for the collection. I got like all the Calvin Kleins, right? I got like 10 CK1 summers. Like some of them are actually pretty good, but do I really need every single year? I'm looking at my Lacoste Challenge bottle. I got the Lacoste Challenge remix or something. I still haven't reviewed it. I haven't even touched that bottle. It's just collecting dust. Um, and that kind of, now my hauls make a little more sense, right? This is something that I think is going to be decent. That's why I blind bought it. This is for my collection because I love Tel d'Hermes. I got all the flankers except for one. So I really wanted to get this one. And then, of course, Amouage, I'm always going to collect. But I'm being smart with my purchases now. I'm not like buying Dolce Gabbana the one gray because I already know, like, just looking at the name and looking at the note breakdown and what people are thinking online. I'm like, why would I spend 50 to 60 bucks on that thing for a couple 4,000 views? I know I won't like it. The same with Eros Flame. Like, if I buy it now, it's going to be right now. It's at discounters. It's probably around 100 bucks. And why, right? So, but that's me and my journey, and I kind of, I think I did like a year of buying just whatever I saw, just because I had that income. But now I'm a lot smarter with what I do, and it's going back to the roots of what I wanted to do with this channel, and it's my journey. So, um, I have zero interest in flame. Yeah. How many Terenzi fragrances do I own? Only one. I got several on the to buy list. But it's a brand that, the price point is around a lot of brands that I want to purchase fragrances from. So it's one of those fragrance brands that's always in the cart, but then it gets in process of elimination, they get removed. So that's the one thing, right? It could be in the cart, but then something like this is in the cart. Amouage will always trump. And then there's a lot of brands that I still haven't purchased from. Um, so do I have any thoughts on perfume vintage? I don't own any. I have no interest. Um, yeah, blind buying. Blind buying. I'm the worst person to talk to because I do it. But the one thing with blind buying, and I don't recommend blind buying at all, zero. I don't, but I do it. And the only reason for me, I feel like I'm an educated blind buyer, is I'm really deep in this fragrance journey that my blind buying is fairly educated. And the way what I mean by that is when I blind buy, and I blind bought this. Now, blind buying a fragrance like this is two, three, 300, give or take Canadian. Um, Blind buying something like this. Well, first of all, my history with the brand, I own like 2 dozen Amouages. I know what the creative director is looking to do with this brand. I know what the brand is going for, and I look at the note breakdown and I do my research in regards to what I'm purchasing before I even purchase it. So I, I'm an educated blind buyer. I'm not going to just blind buy. What's the latest hype right now in the fragrance community? Like, do a something, right? I have no interest in that. I don't care how much people hype a do a fragrance. You can't influence me, and that's the way, as a subscriber, you should be. That mentality, you already know what your taste is. And I gravitate towards the videos of fragrances that I'm already gravitating towards or interested in. I do not fall for, oh shit, there's like back to back to back to back videos, reviews on something, and everybody's saying, like, their thumbnails are all saying it's good. Um, I've never been, Bleu de Chanel, case in point, Sauvage. They're all in everybody's, not everybody, but I'm saying most top 10 lists, and the reviews are always so glaring and so amazing. I haven't, I have no interest in trying it out. Um, and I can't be influenced. And that's where a lot of subscribers, I'm not saying what you should do, but that's where you should be. You shouldn't be heavily influenced by that. aroma essence. um, yeah. So yeah, and there's certain noses that again, reviewing in YouTube, there's noses that I respect on YouTube, and I watch different reviewers for different things. I got my reviewers that I respect. So, um, like if I'm looking at let's say I want to purchase this. Well, first and foremost, not everybody's going to be reviewing this because there's no hype on it. So there's probably going to be a little handful, and usually the reviewers that are reviewing this are more my taste, my type of reviewers, and I'll watch them. And then there's reviewers that are entertaining. I'll watch their reviews just to be entertained. And our nose may not match, but it's entertaining. And there's some that are in the middle. They entertain, but they're also very gifted with their nose. So it's a balance of who to watch. And Eugene would be reviewing it. Yes, Eugene would be reviewing it. Eugene is a fragrance reviewer that I'm happy he's getting a lot more eyes on him. There's a lot more eyes on Eugene for the wrong reasons. Um, Eugene, as a fragrance reviewer, is I have tremendous respect of his nose. Um, his Guerlain collection is simply outstanding. But that is someone, and I did a Guerlain haul just recently that I purchased 6 Guerlain fragrances, and I went to him specifically, and I said, "Look, I'm looking to purchase these. Um, you have them all," and I'm like, "I want to get 2 out of the 3 of this. Which one do you think would be less my taste?" And again, I just, you're not going to take it. You're going to take it with a grain of salt, but I highly respect him that I purchased the 2 that he felt would be more my taste. So yeah, yeah. Well, I certainly appreciate what you're saying. No sense frags. Like I'm very humbled that you would say that you'd hope to be as good as me one day. Um, Again, I have so much more to learn. Um, I'm just throwing out what I think about the fragrance and my experience with those fragrance notes. Um, so, you know, I don't know everything with fragrances, and there's certainly people that know a lot more than me about fragrances and can dissect a fragrance way better than I can. Um, but I really enjoy what I do. Um, so it's and I take it seriously, but I don't take it very seriously at the same time. It's not, if I took it as a business, then I would be very much more ingrained or more deep into this. And, um, my reviewing style, first of all, if I took it as a business, would be much, much different. My reviewing style, business wise, does not make sense. And I knew that like 4 years ago. Um, so, how did I learn? That's a good question. How did I learn about how to do what I do? Um, Time, patience, money, essential oils. A lot of course, fragrance notes are in real life. A lot of stuff you can use in cooking. A lot of the fruits and those kind of notes, the spices and the herbs. Those are fairly simple. Woods, obviously, I live in Canada. There's a lot of woods around me that I know what the particular smells are. um, Essential oils definitely help. Obviously, there's some things that are, IFF only has their own, Gaiac wood to say or something like that. And the ones that are more tricky are notes, and these are notes that I've had the most problems with, because they're the most complex, and every brand has their own mentality of what that would smell like. So they have different compounds, like amber, per se. If you take a look at amber, um, that is not something that you distill. Amber is a very complex note, and it can go different ways. That was a very hard note to really discern in a brand or in a fragrance. IFF's got their own ambre gris, very interesting note. But even oud is probably one of the hardest ones, because there's different type of ouds. They throw off different things. Um, Obviously, you got the the ones that are in most designers and niche fragrances alike are very synthetic. So there's so many out there. Oud is probably the hardest one. I would put that on top of the list. But a lot of it, essential oils, of course, and the more you smell and the more you dissect fragrances, the more you're going to get to know what's what. Um, that's all I can say. The channel helped me quite a bit, because look, I'm doing this and I'm taking my time with every single fragrance. And, I would, I do this still to this day. It's a lot easier now than it did way back when. Way back when, to do a fragrance review, it'd take me a long, long time, because I didn't really have that palette. So I didn't really know what I was looking for. Like, something would be powdery, and I'd be like, okay, there's iris in this, but I really never had any experience with iris. So okay, so this is a heavy iris based fragrance from what people are saying, and I don't really have that much experience with it. But after a while, you start going, okay, so you Google what iris smells like, yeah, or you can get an essential oil, or you can get several essential oils that all have different irises. And that's one thing. Like, one may be much more powdery, another one may be a little more, smooth. You can smell the quality from one to another. So, like, Dioram is the benchmark for iris, and it's one of those fragrances, and that's one of those notes that, um, how well you do an iris. Dioram killed the iris. Like, Dior, like, you give me a niche iris based fragrance, I will laugh in your face and say it's not worth the money. Dioram kills it. You have to come with more complexity. And so I'm kind of trailing off, but soapy fragrances, Prada, or Prada Infusion D'Homme, best soapy, like white soapy fragrance ever. Um, and that was like a $90 Prada fragrance. Well, if you're gonna go niche, white, soapy, clean, and you're charging $400, I'm gonna laugh in your face and go, I'm just gonna go with Prada. Um, Now there's fragrances like that utilize incense or oud or amber, and you gotta pay that price point to get those notes. So that is one thing that's very, very interesting, is that there's some notes in particular and higher end brands that you have to get higher end brands to really experience the true essence of that note. You won't get in designer brands. And that's one thing I learned quite quickly, is like, Iris was done very well, and Iris is getting much more popular now. It's weird because Dioram, when it first came out, Iris wasn't really that popular, and a lot of people were panning that brand, that lineup, as a feminine for men. Um, and there's not too many brands that really played with that too much as their primary note in the men's line, but now it's starting to get more and more frequent. Case in point, this one, I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert, but spoiler alert right here. Um, so obviously that tonka bean, but you go with the tonka bean in the designer game and smell tonka imperial. Now, Tonka Imperial, holy crap, that tonka bean in that fragrance, every single facet of the tonka bean. Like, tonka bean is complex as hell. And you've not smelt a great tonka bean based scent until you smelt Tonka Imperial. Holy, like, it's absolutely stunning. So it's I know I was trailing off, but um who else is here? Let's talk here. How do you feel about your collection? No, after you're getting them all. It's one of my favorite notes. um which houses do I say use top shelf ingredients, and at what point does the cost of those ingredients not provide a big enough payoff to be worth the extra cost? Um like in the designer game, if you're looking at quality, you have to always look at Dior and Chanel. I mean, in the designer game, I'm going with the set itself and the structure itself may not be to your liking. What the perfumier did or the idea of the fragrance may not be up to your liking, but hell do those brands, and not all their releases, but a lot of their releases, you're going to see that quality shine through, and Hermes does that too. um, those would be, to me, the three brands in the designer game. As far as the quality goes, you can almost really feel it in a lot of their releases. I'm not saying all of them. um, every brand's got their poo poo. So yeah, that's how I would say that. Um, and at what point does the cost of those ingredients not provide a big enough payoff to be worth the extra cost? Well, those companies would know. Um, they obviously, you won't, like a Chanel designer release and a Dior designer release. The ones that are at those price points, they're not going to go over and beyond what they're going to be charging the general public, or they're just going to put those fragrances in their higher echelon line just because of the cost, and they want to recoup that cost. But there's brands like that. There's some brands that you can tell a lot of their fragrances, and I don't want to poo poo, a brand like Bond Number Nine. But Bond Number Nine, I could put money on it right now that they are making hand over fist probably a hell of a lot of money off what they're offering you. As far as quality goes, as far as the scent itself and what you're getting, what you're paying for them. By Killian, a lot of their fragrances, ouch, uh, you're paying for those damn coffins. So yeah. um, how do I define success of my channel? Good question. Um, success on my channel. It's a really good question. Um, I would have to say I don't even know how to answer that question, because success of the channel, I never, you know, views, sub count, and things like that. Other people look at it and they define that as success. Um, you'll never see me go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Um, I may have done it in the past, but you can tell that my videos, when I was doing those, I really didn't know what to say or what to do, is when I was talking about numbers. And I think I did a few of those videos on YouTube. Like I said, oh, I hit my first 100 subscribers. I stopped doing that, right? I know where I'm at. I think I'm around 34,000, but you won't see me throw it out there and congratulate me. I'm at 35,000. Hard work, yay. That doesn't define success to me. And yes, it keeps moving forward, and you want to see that. Um, but as this, I already see the channel as a success. The channel was a success once it hit 50 subscribers, if you believe it or not. My goals were very low. Um, all I wanted to do, and all I've always wanted to do, is um, just have an outlet for my hobby. And anybody that's been with me for a long time knows that I tried to do it on bass notes, and I was kind of shunned in bass notes. Um, and then I'm like, well, I need somewhere else to go. And YouTube didn't really have a community, so I decided, okay, well, let's start a community, and I'll start it off, and we'll invite everybody, and that's kind of where it went. So my successes have been in the past. Everything I'm doing now is just I've already deemed this channel a success. So anything I do now is just gravy. If I stop today, I'm very happy with what I've done on the channel. Um, and it's just a library of stuff that people can refer back to. So I hope that answers the question. Unfortunately, it's probably not the answer you wanted, but it is what it is. If I like the channel, it's successful. All right. Well, good enough. um, oh well, we're up to an hour worth of content here. Don't want to go too late. Um, maybe another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna call it quits and probably go to bed. It's 11 o'clock tonight. So, um, so anyway, first and foremost, thank you to everybody that's in the live chat. We got 50 people. We got 50 some likes on this video. So I'm hoping anybody that sees this, obviously it's an hour long, so they probably won't see it now, and they probably won't be watching the whole hour. Hit the like button, because I'm looking at for 200 likes on this video, just cause. See if I can do it. And obviously I appreciate all the support. Um, and I know that this live doesn't really have any topics, because it was all about the roundup, right? Well, what's going on my channel for the month, and hopefully I can deliver all these great um, fragrances here, and I can't wait to tell you guys more. So definitely keep it tuned in. I will be unboxing. They're already unboxed. I unboxed them actually tonight. So one of these is probably going to be on Send of the Day tonight, because I want to try them out on my skin. But keep it tuned in. I've unboxed 1, 2, 3, and my imitation 4. That's my haul for this month. And yeah, keep it tuned in for that. And of course, I got a whole bunch of fragrance reviews for you guys. Yeah, I guess that's it. Hit the damn bell. um, yeah, to all the fragrance reviewers that are in the chat, I hope I'm not missing anybody, but definitely plug your channel in the live chat, please. I know that Jacqueline's there. I can see her. She's right there. There's her face right there. Thank you for stopping by, Jacqueline. She's fairly new to the YouTube thing, but she's really putting her name out, and from what I've seen, she's very passionate about fragrances. So No Sense Frags, obviously another fragrance reviewer. Mr. Oz was in here. I might be missing a few people, but definitely plug yourselves for your channel. I certainly appreciate anybody that puts a camera to their face and does this thing, because I know how much work it takes. Outlaw Frags is here too. Him too. Subscribe. And I definitely, especially for the newer ones that are just starting out to be fragrance reviewers, it's a hard mountain to climb. So I know what you guys are going through. Again, if it gives you any help or any joy, it took me about 4 months to get 50 subscribers when I first started in 2009. So don't give up. And if numbers are it, and if that's what motivates you, then that's what it is. But I do I do recall it took me 4 months to get 50 subscribers. Now there was only three fragrance reviewers before me, so we didn't really have a community. So it was actually really hard to get people on YouTube to watch fragrance reviews because there was no fragrance reviews. Um, you know, I remember. Here's one story. Um, my first fragrance review on YouTube is Le Male, that I shot in August 2009. And the reason I did that review is because there was no reviews on Le Male on YouTube when I first started. There was no pure malt fragrance review. I was the first one to review pure malt, believe it or not. Angel Men, only Tim Sweatkoff had one. So there's only one fragrance review. And these are classic fragrances like Issey Miyake, Puram, Boss Bottled, um, Aqua Dijo. Um, there was like maybe one or two reviews on all these fragrances. So just imagine that you're looking, especially niche, like unheard of, man. If you typed in Amouage when I first started, good luck. You'd have to go on base notes or something. So so just keep your head up in regards to the newbies out there that are on our platform. Don't fall into the trap of trying to do catchy thumbnails or trying to trick people to watch your stuff. Especially the ones, again, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to do that, that's your prerogative. But if you're really into this as a hobby, just keep pushing. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll get those numbers if that's what you're looking for. So again, thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. This is over an hour, so it's a little much. But thank you so much for everybody in the live chat. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll definitely have something for you guys this weekend. Hopefully, I'll edit that haul and get it out to you guys tomorrow. But thank you so much. Beef curtains. You all know lobster curtains are a lot better than beef ones. Thank you so much, Outlaw Frags, and everybody else that supports the channel over the years. It's much appreciated. Have a good night, everybody. Sleep tight, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.